I think cashews might be my favorite. I used to love pistachios, but I don't know, something about cashews. Hey guys, it's Evie here and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. I hope you decide to stick around and subscribe. Today's video, I'm going to be focusing on the last macronutrient, which is fats. So I've already done a video on protein and carbohydrates, which I will link down below. So if you haven't watched those already, make sure you give them a watch to find out why each macronutrient is important in its own way. So if you are interested, just make sure you keep on watching and let's get into the video. Alrighty, so let's get started on talking about fats. I do also want to say that I do have a diploma in nutrition. The reason I started my interest in nutrition and wanted to do some study on it is to make sure that I am putting out information out there. That way you can make a decision on your health and you aren't being told to, you know, skip food groups, skip macros, because all food is great in its own way. So just wanted to quickly get that out of the way. Alrighty, so fats, let's start talking about it. Lipids, fats, or oils, however you want to refer to it, can be deemed as unhealthy. But they are actually a very essential macronutrient in our diet. Just like protein and carbohydrates, they hold a very special place in our diet. Just like carbohydrates, fats are actually a major source of energy for our body, but they are the only long-term form of energy in our bodies. Without these healthy fats in our bodies, our bodily functions will actually rapidly decline. But like everything should be consumed in moderation. Unlike carbs and protein, fats actually hold 9 calories per gram, whereas the other two hold 4 calories per gram. And because they are the most energy dense of the macronutrients, people do seem to stay away from it. But you actually don't need a huge amount of fats. So unlike protein and carbohydrates, which will mainly make up your diet, fats only makes up a little bit of it. I know I'm throwing like quite a few numbers around, but when it comes to fats, it usually makes about 20 to 35% of our diet. So that's just like a quick little thing. If you are, you know, I guess calculating your macros, it doesn't need to make up a big portion. As I said, protein and carbohydrates usually make the bigger chunk. There are also solid and liquid fats. So the solid fats are referred to as lipids, and the liquid lipids are referred to as oils. The fat stores in adipose tissue actually help protect us from the cold. They also protect us from starvation and also protect our internal organs. So as you can tell, fats are really essential and should not be avoided. Consuming fats does need to be taken into consideration, as too much consumption of fats can lead to diseases such as coronary heart disease, but not consuming enough can actually, like I said at the beginning, will rapidly decline your bodily functions. You will lack energy, you will be fatigued, and you will also lack in some essential vitamins as well. So like every other macronutrient and food group, each one has its own minerals and vitamins that it produces for your body. So just make sure you are consuming an adequate amount of fats. So let's talk about some of the different types of fats. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the unsaturated fats, and these are the ones we want to be focusing on. These are the types of fats that are derived from plants such as vegetable oil, olive oil, nuts, and seeds. We also have omega-3, which is a type of unsaturated fat, which is known as polyunsaturated fats. Omega-3 is a type of unsaturated fat known as polyunsaturated, and having oily fish in your diet about 3 times a week is very beneficial, as fish is really high in omega-3, and also omega-3 is very beneficial for your heart health, your joints, and brain health as well. If you aren't really into fishy products, I know a lot of people don't really like seafood, there are supplementations of omega-3 as well that you can take. But unlike any other supplement, if you are worried about it, make sure you do your own research, talk to your GP, that way you can make the decision for your health, because making your own decisions based on the information you have, I think, is really important. Then we have saturated fats, and these type of fats are the ones that you find in a lot of takeaway meals, for example. These are the ones that we want to minimize our intake of, but not to delimit altogether, because every now and then you want to go out and have a burger, which is totally fine. But if your diet does consist of too much saturated fats, it can be detrimental to your health, because like everything, it needs to be taken into moderation. Then we have dairy products, which is the only food group out of the 5 that contains more saturated fats than unsaturated fats. This doesn't mean that you should not consume dairy unless obviously you're probably lactose intolerant, but it just means that you should be having the correct moderation, which according for the Eat for Health website, which is a website that the government sponsors, I guess, in a way, you should be having about 2 to 3 serves of dairy per day. An example of a serving of dairy is about 200 grams of yogurt, a cup of milk, or 2 slices of cheese. So that's just some information about the different fats out in the world. As you can tell, there are a lot of different moderations of it. There's a lot of different types, and just finding the type of healthy fats that you enjoy is a great way to make sure you're putting into your diet. So I guess if you like to have eggs on toast, for example, having that avocado on that toast is a great way to put fats into your diet. Also, fats are very known for enhancing flavor of food, and they are known to make us satisfied after every meal. So make sure you are giving your body the satisfaction that it needs and wants. Your body does so much for you, so making sure that you are giving your body what it needs and wants is so important, because food is just so good, and there's just so many different ways to have food, you know, like if you're really craving something, just looking it up on the internet, making alterations to fit your taste is really, really easy. Making food doesn't need to be difficult at all. The richest form of fats do come from the vegetable oils, nuts, seeds, and avocados. I used to be one of those people that refused to eat avocados, but now I have it basically every single day. It's one of those things that doesn't really have a taste. You kind of just put whatever seasoning you want on it, create it to your taste, and kind of just add it. It's a great filler and a great source of fat to have. And just make sure that you are including omega-3 into your diet as well. Such a great unsaturated fat source. And like I said, if you aren't a fishy eater person, you can have supplementation as well, but make sure you do talk to a health professional before you take any supplementation. So yeah, just to quickly sum up, fats are very essential. Make sure you are eating them. They are not unhealthy. There's the unsaturated and the saturated fats. Unsaturated is what we want to focus on, as they are more nutrient dense and contain the richest form of fats. And then we have the saturated fats, which we don't want to delimit from our diet, but just to make sure we don't have too much of it. Because like I said, everything needs to be taken in moderation when it comes to food. Too much of anything can be detrimental to your health. Some of my favorite fats that I like to eat are definitely nuts. I really love cashews and pistachios. Having that with like some fruit or even some chocolate, because I do like to food pair, is a really great way to include fats in your day. And like I said, avocado I usually have with my lunch and dinners as well. In the mornings when I have oatmeal, I love to use nut butters or almond butters, especially the ones from Macro Mike. So I'll show you this one that I have here. So this is the powdered peanut butter in cookie dough. Such a delicious way to have some fats. Or if you aren't a fan of the powdered one, just make sure when you are shopping for nut butters, you want to find the ones that contain like 99 to 100% of whatever butter it is, because a lot of the other butters have multiple ingredients, and that's where you have like the added sugars, added preservatives, and that's kind of what we want to minimize in our diet. And I also been loving crumpets lately, so heating them up on the toaster and putting some of this on top with some berries is bloody delicious. So yeah, I guess fats is more of like a condiment item in a way, unless you are having like your oily fish, which is the type of polyunsaturated fat that I was talking about, which is really great for your health. But yeah, I feel like it's more of a condiment item, more of a side item, because I guess you don't really, eat a whole avocado on its own. You kind of have it with something. So kind of think of fats as condiment item, and what can I have a small dosage of on the side with what I'm currently eating. So that's kind of a great way to look at it. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. I really hope you find these nutrition videos very helpful. I know that I love filming them and love educating everybody around me. I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are. And just remember that one bad day isn't a setback, and tomorrow can always be better. Bye guys.